What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk presents Two Cousins Talking Batman. Chris, well, before we get started, hit that notification bell, hit that subscription button. Make sure you like our videos, leave a comment. We got a playlist, check it out. We got a playlist that includes more of these bad boys because in this series, we are covering Batman the Animated Series. Every Saturday morning, you can tune in and watch us deep dive into
Every
an episode.
Saturday. Get your
Get your
milk,
bowl of
get
cereal.
get your cereal. Just start listen to us breakfast and enjoy the magic that is Batman the Animated Series.
Man, last week we covered Robin's Reckoning, and this week we're jumping into part freaking two, man. Dude, Chris, do you have any insight before we jump forward into part two?
Oh, of course I do. You know I do. But so I actually watched part two last week because I couldn't just leave off with Robin's Reckoning part one and not, even though I've seen it 1,000 times, I still watch it. I watched it again last week. I watched it again this morning. And then, usually I save my facts to the end, but let me tell you how this series was ranked among some of our peers. Uh the AV Club states that this is one of the greatest episodes ever made. Batman on
Wow.
Film, which I actually listen to their podcast, they're great. Um, they say that these are the two best episodes, the two best of the entire run. IGN ranked it as number 3 of their top 10 best Batman animated series episodes. So you know how there's that term. This is I'm your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. This is your
Yes.
favorite cartoon's the best of your favorite, the best of your favorite cartoon. This is the best of the best right here. Is what we're eating. You
Dude, and
know,
I'm a Robin guy, so the fact that it's Robin that was given like this treatment, man, because we've seen Batman Year One in the comics. We've seen Burton's Batman on screen, but we haven't gotten like a mature, edgy take on Robin and the kind of
right,
kid that Batman would produce. And to see him here in that Tim Drake suit that makes him
woo,
like look not cheesy or like, why are you wearing this? Why are you wearing Speedos and
right,
pixie boots? Which is
right.
fine, but here it made sense.
So we talked about this last week. This is the first time we've seen Robin as his own man. He's a
Mm-hmm.
real superhero. He's not corny. He's not campy. He's a with, and we really see that towards this episode of what Robin can do. So
Dude, he's a beast. He's a
he
beast.
is.
Shall we jump in?
So before we jump in, let me just give the
Oh,
quick episode. This is episode 52, premiere date February 14th, 1993, directed by Dick Seabat, written by Randy Rogel. And if you want, I have a quick, we do we need a recap? Should we hit a recap?
I
The
mean, you
quick
know
synopsis?
what? No, because y'all just need to go watch our last episode, part
Facts.
one. We're
Go
not
back.
giving it to you. You can go back
Give
and
us just go watch it. Go watch it.
give
Let's
us
just
the
get into
views, man. Give us the views. Stop playing around.
it. I like it. I like it. I like
All right,
it.
man. Robin's Reckoning. What an amazing name. I love that name. And
Yep.
dude, here we are. He's trying to track Batman using the motorcycle that Batman gave him.
Yep.
And Batman's like,
Nope.
no.
Not today, Robin.
Robin's like, how you foiled me? I'm like, dude, it wasn't gonna be that easy.
But is this why you made the comment? I was trained by the best
Was that? Yeah,
because
yeah,
he's like, even
yeah.
though you could turn it off, I was trained by the best, which means you taught me how to do this, so I don't need a tracking. A tracking just will help me, but I could
I'll
do
find
it
Zuko
with
on
or
my
without it.
own. And then we get this
That's right.
flashback, dude. We get this flashback of them fencing, and like I'm pausing right here in the episode. Batman schools him, but Dick does pretty good. And this is like his first time fencing. You have to imagine, like this is probably his first time.
Right. So remember when we read All Star Batman back in the day, you and I had a conversation about how you were so upset with the way Batman treated Robin. You said,
He
I
would.
remember the text. You're like, Batman's a jerk.
And I was being like, that was me being nice.
Right.
Batman was, because it was like, if y'all don't know All Star Batman, Frank Miller, was that Frank Miller that
It was
came
Frank
back?
Miller. Yeah,
Ah man, he just
yeah, it was
turned
Frank Miller, and it was yeah.
he turned Batman into Jim Lee drew it. The art was beautiful. But it was like they made Batman like eat rats in the cave. That's your initiation. And this
Yes,
kid just lost
he
his
put him like
parents.
he made him survive in the cave, like an old cave, and just it was like alone, but it was
And
crazy.
Batman was like cocky. He was like, I'm the Batman. And the kid's like, you're weird, dude. It was a weird take. And if it's supposed to be like sort of a sequel to his year one, I'm like, I'm not. I didn't like it. I like this better, Chris.
Yes, so this you can see. So Batman is still firm with him, but he has compassion, and you see the bond these two are building. As it goes on, and you can see him being trained, like in the back of his head. This kid may be something, maybe involved in my
Well,
exploits.
and I don't think Bruce knows any other way to communicate or help him.
Yeah.
This is his language, it's training, it's discipline. But through here, they're laughing, and Bruce starts tickling him.
Yes. It's one of the few lighthearted moments we see with Bruce.
Like he's genuinely enjoying this company,
Yep.
which All Star Batman was not the case.
No, he doesn't enjoy anything.
No, except being Batman. And then
Ye-
Alfred's like, we have someone's here to see you. And Gordon comes through and is like, yo, the kid might be taken off your hands soon. Zuko might be in the wind if we don't get him, but we might have a beat on him.
Right.
And
And then he overhears it, and he's like, "I gotta do something about this."
it jumps off the roof, showing his
He's an
acrobat.
acrobat. He is an act. So can you pause it 1 second? You know what I'm glad that they didn't do was they didn't do the. You ever see Despicable Me, where anyway, it's a trope where someone takes someone in, and then they realize, oh no, I can't have you, and the person leaves, and then they come and reconnect after that. They realize
Oh,
you're the
that
missing part.
thing.
Yeah, they didn't do that here, and I'm glad they didn't do that here because Batman never said anything about kicking the kid out. He just trying to find Zuko, and when this kid hears that, his first reaction is, "Oh no, I'm getting taken out of the house." His reaction is, "I gotta catch Tony Zuko.
Because
I'm
he's
focused
about to
on the
be
prize."
gone. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
And I'm not
I'm
sure
glad
if
that
he even
this is how the situation played out.
and I'm not sure Dick even realizes like what will I do once I get him. I think he's just in go mode right
Yeah.
here because
Yep.
it's like, what are you gonna do? Um, so he gets off this bus looking like the Newsies. Like this is 1940s. He's running around with this
Exactly.
paper, like saying, "I guess like I'm looking for my uncle."
Uncle, yeah.
No one knows him, which is interesting, right? I guess Zuko is so low level that he's not recognizable by a lot of these people, or they're
Right.
lying.
Yeah, so I started reading about Tony Zuko and some of his appearances. So Tony Zuko actually first appeared in 1940. It was actually created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and then he has a bunch of appearances, and he has a few ones where he's a low level. This is not um on film or on screen, but he has a couple appearances where he's a low level. He has a couple appearances where he's like a high level mobster. And then there's even one storyline where he's part of the Black Lantern Corps because
see,
he's one of the deceased that gets resurrected. So he's had a kind of
oh,
really crazy arc. This guy.
a black the comics, comics. I love comics, but sometimes it's like Tony Zuko can just be dead. Like he don't need to be super powered.
Right, right.
He's running around town trying to find his uncle, and he bumps into a dude that I mean, these are still the streets, Chris. These are still the
This is Gotham.
streets.
You
This is
can't
still
forget this is
Gotham.
Gotham.
And why are you eyeballing me? Now, this is interesting
Yep.
here because the last episode I thought people weren't scared of Batman yet, but here you see like everybody close their like turn off their lights at the sound of like the Batwing flying overhead,
Right.
which is interesting. I like that. And here, did you
Here's
okay?
Chi
Do you
Chi.
remember as a kid? I just accepted it. I don't think I said, "Oh, that's a pimp and his prostitute." Like, I don't think I went that far with it. I just kind of accepted it.
Lawrence, I was thinking the same exact thing. She is a full blown prostitute.
And he's like, "Where's my money?"
He's
I
about to
mean,
give her the
literally,
record.
this is the scene. I'm like, wow, like
Exactly.
but then in the last episode, like Fox was like, no to the gambling when he was playing
Yeah, but it's okay to have a
craps.
pimp take his hoe's money.
Dude,
Uh,
over my head as a kid. I did not realize that's what was happening for real. And then, oh, this is like one of the most amazing moments and maybe all of the Batman the animated series. Because you see, I know it's a bold statement, but you see a kid turn into a hero. Like at this point, you don't know what he is. For the audience, we know he's Robin, so we know he's a hero, but he's not a hero yet. And at this point, he decides to stop looking for Zuko and save this woman. That's a
right.
massive, that's true character right there.
You know what? Like I didn't think of it that I don't know if I classify it as one of the greatest moments, but I would classify it as one of it does show a pivotal moment in its character because he's focused on a mission for himself, but because he sees someone else in trouble, he's like, "Let me stop, put my needs aside, and help this hoe."
Yes. Which to me, it's not different than Heart of Ice. It's where you see this guy make a decision to save his wife by any means necessary. Like a turning point in his character. Freeze wasn't always bad. It's just that I had to do bad things to get what I want. And here, he isn't a hero until right now. Right now
Right,
is when he becomes a hero. Right now is when he makes a decision. And I feel like that to me is just a massive moment that we don't get with Batman. We don't get the origin of like when was
right.
your
We
mom?
don't get it.
Gray
Exactly.
Ghost, I guess, but we don't get the this
We
can't
we
happen to
we
anybody
never get
else.
a story like this from Batman
Never,
in this series. We don't. And
never.
I think that was a missed opportunity to be honest with you. And there's not many because this is my favorite. This is hands down my favorite cartoon. So I mean, to say it's a missed opportunity is a lot.
It's funny though,
Lauren,
isn't it?
can you just pause real quick? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
There's no. What I was saying what's funny is that we make fun of the fact that Batman's origin is in everything. Like, do we need to see his parents die again? But on the best version of Batman in media, we don't ever see that here. We don't get his origin in the
Right.
best
It's
version of
true.
Batman. So
Because I think Batman he's so renowned that it's almost a the fans don't want that, right? The fans want to get into a like the Batman. The fans want to get into a Batman story and not be retold the same alley story over and over and over
but
again.
at this point, it would have been over and over again because you would have only
Correct.
seen it with Tim in '89,
We
and
didn't see
that's
it. We
it
really
on
didn't see
screen.
it. We didn't see it in 89. 89 started as Batman. He was Batman when
We had the little flashback. You ever
we
dance
did
with
have
the
a
devil in the
flashback.
piano? We had a little time, but yeah, we've never got it on screen. We don't get it on screen until
Right.
like the 2000s almost, and then we see it all the time.
So Batman begins almost, right?
Batman Begins, Batman v Superman. We see the series Gotham. Like, yeah, the 2000s is when we saw it kind of rehashed. Here, we don't really see it. So, but this is like just a true moment of character where Dick just steps up and fights this guy on the
Right.
streets.
He kicks him right in the shin, yeah, and
Yes,
then
and then
uses his acrobatics.
climbs up the fire escape and then kicks the dude off the fire escape,
Escape
sending him
into the
in the
dumpster.
trash. And Chi Chi's like, "Come on, honey, let's go." I'm like, where are you
No,
going with
he's
this
like, yeah.
child? Coffee shop. And that's where he's saying how he's
When you
looking
have
for his uncle,
Christmas?
but he's eating well at the Waynes
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why is he so hungry? He's living with a billionaire. He has everything he wants.
because he's a teenager. Chris, just wait till our kids are teens. We be like, you just
That's true.
ate,
That's
man.
true.
Um,
And then,
and
out of
then
all people, what was her name? Roz,
oh, the
the waitress.
waitress. I have no idea.
Yeah, but she recognizes Tony Zuko. She's like that louse, And of course, he's in the condemned building because there's so many condemned buildings in Gotham that these guys hang out at.
And it's
He's
the
like,
one right across the water. Um, now
yep,
I got to talk about this shot right here. For those who watch the episode, usually in these cartoons, you'll just see the building, and then we'll go inside the building, right? Here we see like a paper boat in the stream. We follow the boat, and as the boat hits the building, it goes wide and reveals the building. And it just like they don't have to do that. It just adds so much cinematic quality to this show that we don't
hold on,
get later.
can you put time out real quick? You got a dog issue, but we're all right now.
So basically, we're at the building, and then we're going in, and we see what Dick sees, and he found them. Like this kid, super street smart, finds Tony Zuko.
Zuko, he did what all of Gotham PD couldn't do.
Really. But I guess I was saying while you were gone that this kid is way more street smart than Bruce ever could have been. He's with the
Well,
circus. He's with real
he grew
people. He grew up.
up in the circus. Yeah, you have to be a certain level of street smart to grow up in the circus.
So he's probably able to do things on the streets that the cops just can't do. Get in, like, I can see Gordon going into that same diner and like no one would ever talk to him. The waitress would just slide him
Right,
his coffee and keep it moving here. Whereas this kid is able to get information because they look at him as, oh, you're one of us.
right.
Um, and he goes to the phone booth. He's like, I'm gonna call the police but he steps on a can. Rookie mistake, man. And is Zuko
Yep.
here? We're not sure, really. We're like, okay, maybe not. He goes to the phone booth. And then, yeah, Zuko's
So
like,
look, so when you see Zuko, he looks different now than he does in the first episode. He looks like the way his eyes are open. He looks like he's
he's
like been strung. He looks
crazy.
strung out almost.
You know who
Yeah.
he reminds me of? Ray Liotta from Goodfellas.
At the end, right?
When he's just like coked out and just kind of
Yep.
crazy and just like
Yep.
everything's faster and he's sweating. Yeah. Big time. Big time. And like Zuko gets punched out, and like who did it? The freaking Batman. That's just a
Batman
dope shot.
shot
Oh my
with the
gosh.
smoke
Every
behind.
frame is art. Old school bat suit, because this is
Batman
the
suit
past.
that they went back to in the new episodes, in the new adventures.
And I love a pouchy belt, so I'm okay with that. Dick goes
Yep.
crazy on him and then gets pushed. He's about to fall in the freaking
Yep.
dam. And Batman's like, damn.
Damn.
Damn. And this kid's, Batman, pouchy belt.
Yep.
I love a pouchy
I
belt.
like
And he
how
goes
that's
for him.
such attention to detail. How they made the change, the flashback, and it's
Just a
different. He's trying
subtle
different
change.
things.
And if you notice, his cape and his gloves don't have the blue sheen to them. It's just
Yep.
matte black. Grappling. It would have been nice if he had more of a primitive grappling hook, but I'm being picky now.
Yeah.
He saves, and I wouldn't minded a primitive kind of Batwing. Like if we're gonna date him back, like let's date him back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm being picky, and he's like, "Where are we going?" He says, "Home."
Oh, this is it.
And the kid is like, he kind of looks like how Bruce did with the Gray Ghost, just kind of in awe.
Right. That's true. That's a good callback. That's
Oh
true.
yeah, I mean, and the kid is like, "Who are you?" And then,
It- it-
oh, this is
oh,
huge.
the big reveal.
And he's like, "What?"
And
And
then
like, here he
he's like, "You're the
is.
second person here," and then he's like, "Well, the third." And then there's
And
Alfred.
they smile,
I mean,
welcoming him. Now, okay, now this is the thing. I wish this was a 3-parter because I feel like we skipped over so many beats just because they had to keep it tight. Because I don't think Batman immediately goes into making him Robin because he knows how dangerous it is. I think
yep.
that if anything, we would have had an episode of Batman trying to stop him. And like, I can't stop him from going out there. All I can do is train him so he doesn't get killed. And harness that anger into almost, similar to Jason Todd. These kids, he's just not saying go to war for me. He's like, this is the only rehab that they're going to take to, because it's the only
Right.
one I took to.
So it's funny you say that. So one of the notes I have is that originally this episode would the flashback towards the end of young Dick swore a candlelit oath to upload the law if he would join him. There was also a scene where he appears in the Robin costume for the first time. Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, the showrunners, cut this for time constraints, but Dini
Mm.
often admitted he wished it would have used more of the young Robin flashbacks to show the beginnings of growth into the teenage Robin that he is today. So exactly what you're saying you wish you had,
They wanted to
they
do it,
wanted, but they just couldn't because of time constraints. So
which is
yeah, it was in the
understandable.
plan.
Which is
Yep.
understandable. And I'm this we're talking like guys, this came out in the 90s, right? So the idea of even having two parters and not just an episode where you can jump in and out of, the fact that they created a part two that you have to come back to was not what cartoons did back then. They were like one and
No,
done.
it was rare.
This
Yep.
and X-Men required you to know the episode before.
X Men.
So
X Men's a whole different story.
X-Men, you couldn't even just jump in, which is kind of like the
Yeah.
comic books. But so yeah, I know asking for a part three would have been probably too much back then. But yeah, I would have liked to see more of that, and it's nice to know they would have had it. Um, so yeah, man, and he's out to get him. He's out to
Yep.
get him. Zuko got away, and then we get to see Dick do a little bit of detective work, a
I
very little
love
bit.
the torch, the miniature way he cuts through. I
Oh
love it. I think it's so
man,
cool.
because why kick the door down and make noise? Big redial button,
Right.
redial.
Yep.
Tracking.
Yep.
This was for kids still. And Zuko, we're at his high. Phone rings, and of
This is
course,
it. This is all what's come down to. We're coming to the crescendo right now.
and he
Now
looks
look how crazy he looks.
worse. He looks worse.
Yes.
Now, why did he come back to Gotham? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know. I think he was just trying to. He's still a mobster, I guess. He's just doing mob things with his mob friends.
But he escaped Batman's clutches, only to come back and be this terrified. I wish there was a reason. Like, and this probably would have been more time, but like,
So this is about 8 years later because they say there's actually a discrepancy. So in Reckoning 1, they say they have the actors credited as Robin age 9. Episode 2, he's credited age 10. So
mm,
okay, say for the argument's sake, he's 10 years old. Now we know Dick is in college, so Dick is either 18 or 19. So this is either it was around 8 years later. So 8 years is a long time. So maybe he shows up after 8 years.
but
He's
Batman's only gotten better. He's only
no
gotten more iconic. He's gotten even more. There's a bat signal on the roof. I don't
right.
like, but it'd be one. But Zuko's tripping. He looks like he should
He
not
looks
be
like he's
here.
strung out.
Still and terrified. Um, and his henchmen are like, "Boss, chill." Like, "Hey, wait, what's that?
Yeah.
I do think I hear something. I know I hear something."
They have him
And
losing his hair too here. Look at him
dude,
shooting his
just
rat. His rat. He's shooting. He's going crazy. They're like, boss,
going crazy. But you know what, Chris? Can I tell you something as he's shooting that ceiling?
go ahead.
He was absolutely right. Because
Yes, he
look
was.
who loses his foot and just falls.
Oh,
That's kind of crazy.
and oh, you twisted your knee, Batman. Okay, let me ask you a question. After I told you that this was Biff, do you hear the Biff in it
I
when he's
wish
talking?
I wish you didn't tell me because all I hear him saying, "Did you twist your knee, butthead?" That's all I hear is
Exactly.
like butthead after every phrase. The actor
Exactly.
that played Biff, for those who didn't watch our last episode, is voicing Tony Zuko, and it's amazing. Now, Chris, I like this a lot, but then a part of me didn't. They, Batman just falls through the ceiling because he was too
Yeah,
loud on the roof.
yeah, I think Batman would be way more careful.
Or I like it because he is human and he does make mistakes.
Right.
And this isn't the guy in the Justice League fighting Darkseid. This is just a man in like Robert Pattinson's Batman. I can see making this mistake, which I like, but I don't know if I like it. I like it. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if he
Yeah.
could almost gotten killed here because he
Right.
just by
But
some no name.
I said nobody. And then you know what? And I think that's kind of the chance you're taking as Batman. There's a chance that what you get taken out by is not going to be the Riddler, not going to be the Joker, not going to be some big bad. It's just going to be some punk who gets lucky, like we saw in the beginning of Batman Beyond, where it wasn't some big
Yeah.
bad. It was just random thug who just I mean, that's how it happens sometimes.
And maybe and for that I made up my mind. I do like this because the training isn't for something big. The
Yeah.
training is for just every night. Every night you almost die, and
Right.
Batman and maybe Batman's getting sloppy because he knows like he did train Robin really well, so he doesn't have much time to get to Zuko before he does, and that maybe that made Batman not be as cautious as he would
Yeah,
have been.
maybe he says, yeah, yeah, that might be.
You know, filling in blanks, but they gave us a lot here to do so. And
Yeah.
Zuko, now you want a monologue? Shoot him!
He's the number one downfall of every villain.
They just gotta talk. And
Yep.
then Batman, the fingers on the. Does it stall?
Trigger.
He throws. He throws the
Yeah.
gas
And
pellet
then
and hobbles away.
you got a
Get
twisted knee,
after
Batman.
him, butthead. And Batman, yeah,
Batman
he
makes a
really
split.
hurt his knee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He blew out his ACL. He's a real injury.
Probably did real injury, but then he
Yeah.
systematically starts taking these dudes out in the darkness as Robin is showing this amazing freaking motorcycle skills. He's a
Yep.
beast.
He is a beast.
Ah, that shot is amazing. Just in the moon as he's
Just
going over the
jumping the bike.
bridge. Man. And I love like these guys have guns. They're not like some weird cartoon guns that are like purple
No, no.
because it's real
And
here.
they had to be very, very limited on how they can use pistols here. So it's cool to kind of see it. I mean, we're lucky we got what we got past the census with this
I
cartoon.
mean, we had a pimp in his hoe in this. So,
Yep, it's true.
and
It's true.
he's taking these dudes down, man. And Zuko is just like, I'm just gonna start emptying rounds in this thing. And his guys are
Yep,
like,
I'm just bunking. He's
boss,
frantic. Look at him. He's
boss.
frantic.
And then up in the sky, I want to pause this right here. Boom.
This shot is
It
fire.
looks like a bird.
Yep.
It looks like a bird. It's more abstract, but in a similar way that Batman's Batman, like a bat in the sky. It's kind of like looks like a bird flying above you.
It's
With
Robin's.
the legs are right
Yeah.
here. Then you get the wings. I mean, it's kind of and flies through this freaking the sign. Ugh, it's dope.
I mean, it's the most durable motorcycle ever, but
Would you
I can
expect
take it.
nothing? But their
I
costumes are
would
made of
expect
cloth.
I would expect nothing
Why are their
less.
costumes made of cloth?
why, yeah, why is there a more efficient way than to drive through a
Why
billboard?
can't you just tear it with ease?
I'm gonna tell you what. One time when I used to ride a motorcycle, I kicked a traffic cone once, and it hurt bad. So I don't think so. It's not really feasible to drive through things on a motorcycle. I'm just saying.
Because you've tried it. I'm telling you
I tried.
guys, it's not.
Don't do it.
But this is the dopest thing I've ever. This is fire. Land like he's shooting into the motorcycle, lands. Robin grabs him on the motor and drags him down the pier. This is
Drag,
fire. This is
drags him,
fire.
even though his hand is off the throttle. He's still dragging him. I guess
Listen,
with
it's
momentum.
the bat and Akira. You mentioned it.
That's the
Yeah,
Akira shot with
dude.
the electricity.
And then
And then Zuko, like at one point, he's pleading, like, "I'm gonna do some dirty moves. 'Cause I'm a mobster."
he throws and
Tell me you got.
Rob's like,
Yes, I was hoping you got this.
oh, Chris, I'm getting this shot in there.
Yeah.
And this looked like no and menacing.
Yeah.
And okay, I was wrong in the last episode. In the last episode, I forgot that Robin doesn't make up his mind on his own. He literally, if Batman didn't show up, was gonna
Was
throw
gonna
this
do.
dude.
Yep. Yep. Because he's pleading, and then you hear Batman come in. Is that shot where the railing broke?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
railings
Okay.
broke. He's
Yep.
holding him
Yep.
over and he's pleading, and Robin's like, no. And okay, I'm sorry. All right. I love this episode. There are some things I didn't like or prefer. Everything they did I like, but
Okay.
I would have preferred if Robin made the decision on his own.
Okay. You know where we got a better scenario of this is was it Under the Red Hood movie where he gives him the option, he gives him the choice. I forgot which one, but there's one where Batman gives him the choice and lets him make the choice. and then I wasn't I, I didn't remember the dialogue too much, and I went back and watched it, and it seemed to so basically Robin is saying, Batman's saying no, don't do it, Robin, like get a control yourself, and Robin's like, he took everything from me, blah blah blah, and then he's like snaps at Batman, and instead of giving him a little bit of time to like make the decision on his own, right away Robin's like he snaps to his like, I'm sorry, Batman,
Because he says to Batman, "Your cold heart," like you, like he alluded to the fact that Batman's never been through this before.
Yeah, he's like, you don't understand how I feel and stuff like that.
Right.
And then I guess he realizes and then he apologizes.
Which is cool, but I thought like for the evolution, since we don't have this is like the only real Robin episode before we get to the new adventures, and which is Nightwing pretty much. So here is like the only time we're seeing his arc of being a true hero, and it would have been nice if he made the decision like, I'm choosing not to kill you,
Right.
instead of Batman talking him down. Because
Right. That's exactly what I was implying to. Yes.
yeah, that was the thing, and I know this is a Batman show, and Batman's not really the focal point, so he still has to be the hero at the end.
Yeah.
But I would have liked it to have been Robin's moment,
I would have too. Yeah, I would have too.
and Batman realizing he has to let him. Like I think you said it, he has to let him decide. Like he can't,
Right.
and
He can't make the choice
hope
for
that you
him.
train, and as a parent, like eventually your kid's gonna go, and you have to hope that you trained him right, and he's gonna have to make his own decisions.
Absolutely.
Um, and Robin still could have. Batman wasn't in a place to physically stop him,
No, I mean
but
his ACL's blown out. He got a 2x4 for a cane. And then
Robin, doesn't the cops show up? Oh no, he hasn't decided yet.
yep.
Oh, I love that look. He's still holding him over. I mean,
And
Batman
then
probably would still jump down there and got him. And he
yeah.
throws Zuko to the side.
And then we see the paddy wagon taking Zuko.
Now,
And then
do you
here
think between that exchange, Zuko would have extrapolated enough information to go, "You're the brat from the circus who
no,
Bruce
no,
Wayne
I don't
took in"?
no, I don't think so because this guy's a career criminal. He's hurt a lot of people in 8 years.
So he could have made anybody Robin.
He
A
could have
lot
made
of
anybody.
kids. You killed a lot of kids' daddies and mommies. So
Yep.
you don't know.
Yep.
I would have loved that to be the case. Oh, what if they had found a way to like put that in there, where like you see Zuko in a cell. So do you know who the kid is? And they allude to like, I probably created a lot of these kids. Like he can't know
He can't know.
because he's killed too many
Right.
people.
Right. Or how insulting would it have been to Robin if Robin would have been like, I think we saw it with Batman 89 where he's like, do you know what you did to me? He's like, do you know what I've done to everyone? It doesn't
I
matter.
would have
Like,
loved that.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, Dini, call us
oh.
up. we're,
They
st-
needed to
we're
call
still
us.
down.
We were like 12 years old or whatever. Like, call us up.
Yeah.
And then they're having a conversation. And Robin's like, I almost went too far.
We spoke about
And,
episode 1. Is
and
Batman a jerk? And then we realized Batman's not a jerk. Batman didn't do it because he was afraid of he wanted to take away from Robin, let Robin make the choice. He did it because he couldn't stand to lose Robin.
it's a worried parent. It's a worried
Yep.
parent. And if we're gonna deep dive like we're doing, Batman lost his footing on our roof and fell through the table into his ACL because he got unfocused, because his heart, he was
Right.
feeling too much. And maybe here he knows Robin can take down a Zuko in his sleep, but you're emotional. This is where you
Right.
get sloppy. This is where you make mistakes, and this is where you die. So yeah, I can totally see Batman like you totally would probably make a mistake and you'd be dead.
Right.
And it's like in Batman, he's still Batman, so you can't really look at him when he says it. It turns to him after he says it. And then Robin's like, "Oh, I feel
Right.
loved. You know what, partner?
And he calls him partner.
Yep. It's been a
Yep.
long night." And then they walk off literally into the sunrise. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yep.
It's beautiful. This
It
is a
is.
great, Chris. This is a great episode, man. This is a great freaking
Look,
episode.
these guys aren't wrong. This episode is this story arc is one of the best in the series. It's so good. And when we started this this venture. We talked about what we're gonna go, and this came up fast
Dude,
and early because it's just so good.
it's
So
so good. And we're not gonna jump ahead to other seasons, but if we did, it would be that one where Rob, like you see Robin throw his costume at Batman, and we'll get there.
oh
We'll
yeah,
get there. We'll get
we'll
there.
get there. We'll get there.
But
We'll make our way
man,
through.
this is a fire episode. Like I said, I'm a big Robin guy, and I think that you haven't gotten, or you probably ever will get a better Robin centric story that has
I
like
mean,
this
I
type
don't think
of
so.
character and nuance and cinema quality, man. I mean, I would love to see it on the big screen. Hire that kid from Euphoria before he's too old.
Lawrence, you are the his biggest fan, and I hope to see him do
Man, put
well.
him with Pattinson and because Pat. All right, I know we're going on a tangent here. Pattinson's Batman is the closest to this
It
series.
would, and then you could see that I could see Pattinson's Batman showing the compassion and the tough love at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
the same way this was. It would work.
The
It
way
would
you
work in that
saw
universe.
Pattinson's Batman in the beginning of the Batman, spoiler alert, see the kid who just lost his parents. And there was just so much
Yes.
emotion in his eyes. I'm like, they
Mhm.
set this finally got a Batman that is actually set up to have a Robin. Like they already
Right.
put the seeds there that this guy would do everything in his power to take care of a kid like this. I love it. Anyways, Chris, I think that's our episode. We'll be back next Saturday, so make sure you check us out. We also got other stuff in this YouTube, so check out our playlist. And we have a podcast where we're talking geek stuff. We go all across the world with Rich and Jack. We talking so many dope stuff. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Follow us. We'll be back. Same bat time.
Same Bat channel.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We're talking